Yeah, now you can make it full screen.
Sir.
Yes, thank you very much. Please continue.
Thank you, sir. My presentation is on checking the gutter shifting in Metro Railway Kolkata viaduct portion in sharp curve. In Tollyganj area section, there is a sharp curve and BLT is there. During last 2 year back, 2023, gutter moved laterally, and it detected that the kink is formed on the rail. We have explored the cause. It is understood that the temperature and that year become up to 57 degrees centigrade. So our structure is this project is started in 1999 and completed in 2010. The alignment along Tali Nala having pile foundation, pile cap, pier head, superstructure of PSC girder, viaduct having a span around 21.6 meter. Track structure is long welded tail with M1A assembly on BLT plinth. Viaduct alignment of this section Kavishwas Sahid Khudiram. That location is around 200 meter radius, 8.75 degree curve along with a steep gradient of 180. The superstructure is PSC girder. Two tracks having independent two girders, and bearing is the elastomeric bearing. Accordingly, since the girder is PSC girder, the girder is in state and curvature alignment is on arc. The alignment on this curve, but particular this curve is a long curve around 500 meter length, and radius is sharp curve along with gradient. Due to keep the gutter track center minimum 4.1 meter and accommodate cable ducts for SNT and electrical, the gutter has been constructed eccentric. One side is cable duct. This cable duct is one side, other side is plus. So it structure is itself eccentric. Due to eccentricity, though it works 12 years without any shifting, gutter shifting without any problem. In 2023, temperature of rail raised up to 57 degrees centigrade. Accordingly, lateral gutter shifting seen in the gutter. Here is around up to 180 mm gutter shifted outer side of curve. This is also shifted. It started in 334 of girder. We have restored alignment by putting two jacks, one vertical to lifting the girder, second one horizontal, which after lifting by taking support from the pedestal, it was pushed towards original alignment. The roller, to act as a roller, high tensile wire are placed below the vertical jacks. After lifting the jack, after lifting the girder, horizontal force applied and girder is moved as per requirement in first phase. This is photo of this shifting arrangement. Work is done in traffic block. Rail has been defastened, and after restoration, rail is again ERC is inserted. Our track fastening is M1 assembly and BLT plinth. The fastening is very old and having less rigidity with respect to present fastening system of Waslow, Pendrol or Delcom. We have proposing to replace this fastening system with a new current modern type fastening system, because one of the reason of shifting is also fastening system. This fastening system, due to sharp curvature, it is shear, sometimes bolt are sheared and become fastening become not so much rigid. Due to loose fastening, it track system vibrates more. It is enhance the moving of girder. So both are combined. Due to vibration of track, girder also moves slightly. Main reason of lateral shifting are eccentric dead load of girder due to cable duct and resulting force towards the outer side of the curve, where the shifting of the girder are mainly observed. Old fastening system having lesser fastening force with frequent movement of the ears and breaking of anchor bolt observed at that location. Additional vibration of track during train movement due to sharp curve and poor fastening system. Shifting is also this is also reason. Provision of tapered plate in between soffit of the girder and top of the elastomeric bearing decrease the friction coefficient. So if friction resisting force is less, the girder will move if lateral force increases due to various reasons: traction, superelevation, and thermal stasis. The first we have de-stressed the track. Then we have provided a retainer along the diaphragm wall of the girder, so it movement can be resisted. So this in 2024 we have provided the retainer lattice run like this. It is designed by RICE and provided to take lateral load as induced due to superelevation and traction force, including thermal stasis. A sketch of the thermal this side, both sides. The lateral retainer provided based on the load design to take induced lateral force by RICE. The shape of the lateral retainer has been made compatible with the profile of girder. The location of lateral retainer provided along the diaphragm wall of the PSC girder. Provision of elastomeric bearing is made in between girder and lateral retainer to safeguard the girder, as well as damping of the vibration force induced during movement of train. This is method of construction of lateral retainer on the pier. The base plate is provided of 32 millimeter thick, and it is fastened with highest tensile strength of 8.8 grade anchor bolt or 12 number of 20 mm dia. This is constructed lateral retainer, and this is bearing plate provided in between girder and lateral retainer. The profile is almost parallel with diaphragm wall or girder, so that this bearing can be provided. If girder move, it will brace this bearing, and bearing will rubber will be reduce damage of the girder. Its location is along diaphragm wall, so that it can take the load. The load has been calculated by we have discussed with different organizations like Etude, RICE. We have also approached IRICEN regarding this one, and it is reveals that the force induced due to various traction and thermal stress is well below the maximum permissible limit. So it was clear that the main reason of movement is not what load is thermal force. It is some offloading or something. So accordingly, we have provided lateral strainer to check the load of superannuation, thermal stresses, and it is presently working well. Though earlier provision of the lateral strainer is working good, there is no any issue, but presently further some gun are moved, and we are arranging same thing, same lateral strainer to check the further movement after realignment the original gunner. From the above declaration, it is not clear the exact reason of the lateral shifting of gunner, though the temporary measure have been taken and giving satisfactory result. The temporary measure require continuous observation to avoid additional stress on the gunner and pier head. Prima facie, it is seen that friction force developed in between soffit of the gunner and top of the bearing is less than combined force generated during the 10 movement, resulting shifting of the gunner. Since the weight of the gunner includes accessories and more than 500 metric ton, accordingly the vertical load on the each bearing of the gunner should be 125 metric ton. It is apprehended that load on the each bearing is not coming equally due to rigidity of the RCC box gunner. Vertical load decreases the lateral resisting force P equal to mu r will less than the induced force, then the gunner will move. In case of LWR, cast on viaduct or bridges on BLTP length, the induced stress due to traction, thermal stress are locked between the two fastening system, and the scope of elongation of rail are eliminated. However, in a span of bridge become more than the limit, deflection of the structure become appreciable and LWR will not be permitted. After providing lateral strainer along with requirement equipping shear anchor bolt and proper tightening of the anchor bolt, the further movement of the gunner has been stopped at the location. However, at new location, further shifting detected in year 2025 on sharp curve, here number 330 on the curve 94. Following action is proposed to take the stopping lateral movement of the gunner. Provision of lateral strainer at curve sharper than 6 degree. Provision of updated BLT track fitting as per RDSO performance criteria to be provided. Elastomeric bearing to be changed where it is when it has become old and lose friction coefficient. छोटा सा ही प्रेजेंटेशन था.
Thank you, Mr. C.P. Singh.
छोटा सा
हाँ नहीं है आपका presentation. Definitely it was very short and sweet, but you had given light of hope for the problem which is being faced by various metro railway, where they are unable to or they are finding difficulties in continuation of LWR due to lateral shifting of girders. So of course it is an obvious solution that in order to prevent the lateral shifting you have to provide some restrainer. But the thing is, it should have been thought very beginning, but maybe when this metro was provided or the bridge was made, the LWR concept was not very clear or something, so it might have been not included. However, what you had thought that because of one-sided additional cantilever portion to house the cable, etc., definitely make an eccentric loading, and that could be one of the
also contribution.
Yeah, that could be one of the contribution. And when the train is moving on sharper curve, the excessive centrifugal force, and then because of the movement, loading, unloading, sort of vibrationary action will take place, and that may loosen the frictional grip of the elastomeric bearing.
Sir.
Many times elastomeric bearing is provided with the wax coating, and if the wax coating is there, then it reduces the coefficient of the friction between the rubber and the concrete surface, and then further it will lead to the movement. So I think there are many regions to be find out.
Sir, so can we explore the fixing of the girder elastomeric with girder and plinth?
No, nowadays some change on the elastomeric bearing has come. In between, you can have a steel plate on the top and the bottom of the bearing, so that can be connected with the bed block and the girder. That can be screwed or it can be bolted connection, so that there will not be a displacement. So that type of arrangement now available, and however, it further need to do some instrumentation to observe what is the lateral force, and with respect to displacement, what is the vertical force, how it is coming on the various, all the four bearing support, so that will give a better understanding of the subject. And another problem here is that being a very sharp curve, is still analytical method to determine the effect of the temperature and effect of the LWR is still difficult using in the normal course of the software. So some more study needed in order to finalize the further you say the total provisions also.
Yes, sir.
Now, any participant is having any query or any question in this regard?
Good afternoon, sir. Your presentation is very good, and we came to know the various defects we can avoid by proper designing. Like instead of using neoprene elastomeric bearings, if we used pot PTFE bearings, then that could have restrained some of the lateral movement of the bridge. And then second is restrainer is provided after construction. If it could have provided before construction of the bridge, or it could have thought of that. So at the center of the diaphragm, if we could have provided the restrainer like we provide for the road bridges, then it could have saved the lateral movement of the bridge. That I could understand from this.
Presently, all metro in Kolkata are provided with seismic restrainer.
Yes.
Presently, but that time that thing was not thought. The girder is designed by RDSO. Rights.
Yes.
So at that time in 2000, around 2000, they have not provided. But at present, all metro in Kolkata are designed with along with lateral seismic resistor. That will work as a restrainer also. If something.
Yeah, restrainer for the normal loads also, and for the seismic.
Loads, yes.
Yeah. And second thing is that while designing, if there is a eccentricity of load, then we could have thought of plan the load position so that it will helpful in transverse movement.
At present, all girders in metro are constructed as segment girder. So having two tracks in single girder. Yes. In this section, both tracks are independent and both eccentric. Apart from that, some eccentricity is also due to during construction. Yes. All these factors is accumulating the defects and resulted in instantaneous region, I think is thermal stress. In particular, 2023, it will just move the gutter. Otherwise, 12 years service is without any problem. This gutter. So only it is accumulated due to some number of factors.
Yes.
Design independent gutter, again lateral eccentricity, vertical movement,
and vertical eccentricity and centrifugal force also.
Centrifugal force.
Yes.
It is also
That
old.
should be planned so that it could act in opposite direction to each other.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. That is a very correct assessment. It should have been done in the beginning, but as he told, this thought was not there, and that we can say an engineering upskilling. Any other want to contribute? I will repeat the question जो सोहनलाल जी ने पूछा है. What he is telling, in case of plate girder bridges, whether the guardrail should be continuous from abutment to abutment, or it should be broken, or it shall be jointed at the pier location. And his observation is there is some cracks appearing at the bed block and the masonry below. So what I find here, that normally guardrail we are not making like an fully welded rail. It is normally a fish plated joint, and the purpose of guardrail is to prevent the vehicle, the wheel, in case it get derailed, it is to prevent the wheel to go from inside of the two rails from one end to other end, so that it will be remained within that and the vehicle will not topple over. That is the purpose of the guardrail. Second purpose of the guardrail, that it prevent the bunching of the sleepers, so that sleeper will be held in position, because we wanted to have a rail free fastening. Now, when the guardrails are provided with the fish plated joint, then it will be having some gap. Pardon?
सर उनमें वो पूरे कंफ्यूज कर दी गई है, तो गर्डर एक्सपेंशन कॉन्ट्रैक्शन होता है, उसकी वजह से वो गार्डेज उस पर ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट करती है. रोलर रोकर बियरिंग में रोलर एंड पे जब गर्डर हमारा एक्सपेंशन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करेगा, तो उसको गार्डेज दोनों स्पान की गार्डेज फिक्स है और सीट पर भी हमारा फिक्स है गर्डर के साथ में, तो उसमें वो ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट करता है.
एग्जैक्टली मैं यही बात आपसे कहना चाह रहा हूं कि जो गार्डरेल का पर्पज है, उसमें गार्डरेल इज सपोज टू बी फिश प्लेटेड. इसमें गार्डरेल में ये कहीं नहीं दिया है, इट हैज टू बी ए वेल्डेड वन फ्रॉम वन एंड टू अदर एंड. अदरवाइज इट विल बी लाइक
20 साल पुराने होते, कोई जॉइंट जो हमारे जो फिश प्लेट जॉइंट है वो काफी जाम हो जाते हैं, तो उनमें कॉन्ट्रैक्शन एक्सपेंशन मतलब हो नहीं पाता है, जंग लग जाती है पूरी तरह.
हाँ, तो वही है, उस ज्वाइंट की मेंटेनेंस की आवश्यकता है. नहीं तो आपने LWR थ्रू कर दिया है और पर्पज ऑफ रेल फ्री फास्टनिंग को डिफीट कर दिया गया है. तो ये आपका कहना सही है कि गार्डरेल चूंकि जाम होके इट बिकम लाइक एन LWR, और जो गर्डर है उसका एक्सपेंशन या कंट्रैक्शन की वजह से एक्सेसिव फोर्स आ रहा है. ये इशू तो आप सही कह रहे हैं, बट जो LWR को गर्डर पे पास करने का क्राइटेरिया है, दैट इज विद द रेल फ्री फास्टनिंग सम लिमिटेड लेंथ हैज बीन गिवन, एंड इन दैट केस इट हैज बीन ऑब्जर्व दैट इट कैन बी मेड थ्रू, एंड दैट इज अ वेरी रिस्ट्रिक्टेड. Otherwise we have to do the RSI analysis, we have to ensure the requisite type of fastening, and then we have to check out how much movement etc. is happening. When we are doing RSI analysis, in that it is presumed that the guardrail is basically rail free fastening and it doesn't offer any resistance to longitudinal movement. And if it is offering, then it becomes like a full toe load fastening, or it is like a rail connected with a sleeper and it is offering the thermal movement or resisting the thermal movement, and accordingly there is the thermal stresses in the bed block. So what is your observation is correct. So instead of means what requirement here is to maintain the joints in the guardrail in a proper manner. Unless until we made a thorough analysis whether LWR is permitted on that bridge and what are the action required to permit LWR is met with. So I hope it is clear.
क्लियर है सर, लेकिन गार्डन का मेंटेन प्रैक्टिकली संभव नहीं हो पा रहा है। सभी जगह इतने ब्रिजेज है तो गार्डन का जो उसके जॉइंटों में ग्रीसिंग करना संभव नहीं, मतलब हो नहीं पा रहा है प्रैक्टिकली, तो वो
करना चाहिए।
और उसकी वजह से मतलब ये सब क्रिएशंस हो रहा है, उसकी बेड ब्लॉक्स में क्रैक्स डेवलप हो रहे हैं। यात्रा 1-1 किलोमीटर लंबे ब्रिजेज है, कंक्लोज कर दिया गया गार्डन।
वैसे इसमें एक इशू और भी है जिसको आप थोड़ा सोचेंगे। जब ब्रिज पे ट्रेन मूव करती है तो उसके ट्रैक्टिव एफर्ट या ब्रेकिंग फोर्स लगाने से जो फोर्स जनरेट होता है वो फोर्स इज क्वाइट हाई कंपेयर टू द टेम्परेचर फोर्सेस बिकॉज ऑफ द थर्मल एक्सपेंशन और कंट्रैक्शन ऑफ द गर्डर। सो टिपिकली गार्डरेल के जैम होने की वजह से इतना फोर्स नहीं आएगा कि वो आपकी बेड ब्लॉक को डिसलॉज करेगा। एंड अगर बेड ब्लॉक डिसलॉज हो रही है तो देयर आर सर्टेन अदर रीजंस, उसको थोड़ा ध्यान से इन्वेस्टिगेट कीजिए। देयर मे बी वीक मेसनरी और देयर मे बी सम अदर इश्यूज एंड देन इट नीड टू बी ग्राउटेड एंड फिक्स्ड। एंड जैसा अभी पहले डिस्कस हुआ है रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ द बेड ब्लॉक, या तो आप ट्विन बेड ब्लॉक को रिप्लेस करके सिंगल बेड ब्लॉक बनाएं या यू हैव टू टेक केयर एट दैट लोकेशन। जहां तक मैं समझ रहा हूं कि merely because guardrail is become like a fish plated joint become jammed and the thermal expansion is creating the problem, I have a doubt on it.